You're 22, working an entry-level job, splitting rent with 3 roommates, and wondering why nobody takes you seriously. Women your age date men with mortgages and 401ks. Older men treat you like you're still in high school. Your opinion doesn't matter in meetings because you haven't proven anything yet. Here's the brutal truth. Most young men today are soft, directionless, and living like teenagers well into their 20s. And society is right to ignore them. You're invisible because you haven't built anything worth seeing. You have potential, but no proof. Promise, but no performance. Dreams, but no discipline. But this invisibility isn't punishment, it's preparation. While everyone ignores you, God is giving you the greatest gift a man can receive. Time to become dangerous without anybody watching. I'll show you why being overlooked at 22 makes you unstoppable at 32, and how to use these invisible years to build something undeniable. Subscribe right now. This changes everything about how you see your current struggles. Here's what's actually happening. You're in your wilderness season, just like every great man in history. Moses spent 40 years invisible in the desert before leading Israel. David was a forgotten shepherd boy before becoming king. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. This is your building season. Everyone else is in their choosing season. God's timing isn't cruel, it's perfect preparation. Look at your life right now and tell me if this sounds familiar. You walk into a room and nobody asks your opinion because you haven't earned the right to be heard. You apply for jobs that require 5+ years experience for entry-level positions. You watch guys just a little bit older than you get promoted while you're still fetching coffee. Society treats you like you're a liability waiting to happen rather than an asset waiting to contribute. Women your age are dating men in their 30s with established careers, stable income, and proven character. Meanwhile, you're still figuring out what do you want to do with your life while living paycheck to paycheck. The dating pool feels rigged because, honestly, it is, but not for the reasons you think. Here's the reality that stings. Many young men today offer nothing but excuses and entitlement and endless potential that they'll never develop. That 35-year-old she's dating, he's already survived his failure phase. He's built his discipline. He's proven his reliability. You're still in the testing phase where God is seeing what you're made of. And the statistics prove this brutal truth. Young men aged 18 to 25 have the highest unemployment rates, the lowest marriage rates, and report the highest levels of feeling directionless. Meanwhile, men in their 30s and 40s are hitting their peak earning years and attractiveness to women. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Proverbs 21 verse 5. Your ancestors understood something you've forgotten. Manhood isn't automatic. It's earned through years of discipline and failure and relentless building. You're invisible because you haven't built anything visible yet. You're ignored because you haven't done anything worth noticing. You're overlooked because you haven't proven that you can lead anyone anywhere worth going. But here's what changes everything. This season of invisibility, it isn't permanent. It's preparation for the authority you're going to carry later. Every great man was once exactly what you are. Unknown, unproven, and underestimated. The question isn't why you're invisible. The question is, what are you building while no one's watching? Let me show you why these invisible years are the most valuable time in any man's life, and why you should thank God for them instead of resenting them. Nobody expects anything from you yet. Right now, you can fail without destroying anyone else's life. You can take risks without risking someone else's security. You can experiment with careers, move across the country, start businesses that might collapse because the only person depending on you is you. That freedom disappears the moment you have a wife and children counting on your stability. You can build without performance pressure. David spent years tending sheep, protecting them from bears and lions, proving himself. Joshua served as Moses' assistant for decades before leading Israel into the promised land. Even Jesus spent his youth growing in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. Every man God uses powerfully first went through a preparation phase where he was tested, refined, and strengthened away from public attention. While you're complaining about being ignored, successful men used their invisible years to become undeniable. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, but humility goes before honor. Proverbs 18:12. These invisible years are humbling you, stripping away your arrogance, teaching you dependence upon God, and showing you what you're truly made of when no one's watching. Your character is being forged. The man you become in private during these years determines the authority you'll carry in public later. If you use this time to develop discipline and integrity and strength of character, you'll emerge as someone worth following. If you waste it complaining about being overlooked, you'll stay overlooked forever. When Theodore Roosevelt was 22, he was a scrawny Harvard student that nobody took seriously. But he used those formative years to transform his body, to discipline his mind, and to build the character that would make him the youngest president in American history. These invisible years aren't punishment for being young. They're preparation for being powerful. Use them wisely because they don't last forever. You need to understand this. These years of being overlooked are your greatest opportunity to build something undeniable. So here's exactly how to use them. First, become physically dangerous. Your soft body proves you can't discipline yourself. So why should anyone trust you to lead them? Hit the gym 3 to 4 days a week, not just to look good, though that is a nice reward for the hard work, but to become someone who can protect others and command respect through presence alone. I discipline my body and I keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. 1 Corinthians 9:27. A man who can't control his own body can't be trusted to control anything else. So build strength that translates into every area of your life. Second, develop skills that create value. Stop consuming and start producing. Read books to become wise. Learn how to speak with confidence. Master a trade. Develop sales skills. Anything that makes you valuable to other people. Work any job that pays. Heck, work 2 or 3 jobs while you build what matters. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Proverbs 14:23. Everyone has opinions and potential. Few have skills that solve real problems. Become one of the few. And third, build character that lasts. Wake up at the same time every day. Keep your word even when it costs you, and tell the truth even when it's difficult. Take ownership of where you're failing instead of complaining about how hard life is. Serve others instead of seeking attention. Like a city whose walls are broken into is a man who lacks self-control. Proverbs 25:28. Character is built through thousands of small decisions when no one's watching. The man you are in private is the man you'll be in public. Most men waste these years wishing they were different. Winners use these years to become different. Stop acting like a victim of your circumstances and start acting like a man who shapes them. You're not invisible because you're worthless. You're invisible because you're not ready yet. But that can change starting today. 5 years from now, the same people who ignore you will compete for your attention. The women who overlook you will respect the man you became. The employers who won't hire you will try to recruit you, but only if you use these invisible years to build something visible. Only if you stop complaining about being overlooked and start building something worth looking at. Humble yourself before the Lord, and He will lift you up in due time. James 4:10. This season of humbling is preparing you for a season of honor if you steward it correctly. So stop resenting your invisibility and start leveraging it. The world can't see you yet because you're still under construction. But when God finishes his work in you, no one will be able to ignore what he's built. Build in darkness, emerge in light.